All right. All right. Thank you, YouTube, for the free patriotic music, July 4th, 2024. Hope you guys had a safe holiday. A lot of you folks are on your way back, you know. I was talking with someone today, I'm like, and they were saying to me, wow, traveling on the 4th of July. It is painstaking, right? And you have to be very calculated. I mean, I heard today, broadcasting live or video for you guys, and thanks for tuning in, here in Charlton, Massachusetts. I have the Mass Pike over to your left, my right, and it is clogged. Route 20 is clogged. Stafford Street is clogged. And the reason why is there are 60 million people traveling by automobile this year. That is up 2.8 million from last year. Why? I hate to get into the C-19 thing, but I think people are more comfortable now. I hope you're more comfortable now, because I'll tell you what, if I see someone wearing a mask again, God help me. Post-traumatic stress disorder with the mask thing. All right, enough with the mask thing. So, and enough because people are traveling more comfortable, right? And yes, you will catch a cold here and there, but it looks like, half of that 2.8 million additional people traveling for the 4th of July are parked outside on Route 20. So I went out, I did my thing, came back in, and here I am with you beautiful peeps. Welcome aboard. I did want to bust a story out. It came out probably 6 weeks ago about this god-awful 101 Pleasant Street in Worcester, a dental office, and right down the street from me, and Hopkinton resident. And I want to make sure I get their name right or wrong. I'm sorry, but they did a lot of wrong. Resident Minashki Yeg Neswan, Pleasant Street Dental Office's owner. And I'm sorry for butchering that name, Minashka probably. And the dental practice have been indicted by a Worcester grand jury on Medicaid false claims. Larceny over $1,200. It was all in the papers, you guys. The only reason I bring this up is it's not news I'm creating. It's news I'm putting my perspective on. And the reason why is because this individual that owns this practice, this dental practice at 101 Pleasant Street, which is right up the corner from Harrington Corner, and you go through Worcester and you go up Pleasant Street. They're right on the right, okay, 101. And, I was, okay, dental. Of course, they're friggin' overcharging people and having them pay for prescription mouthwash that was covered by, Medicaid. And Medicaid and Medicare, which are two, I think, programs from the federal government, which is so friggin' easy to defraud. That's another thing, our federal government's so friggin' big. It can't even check itself, right? It just can't check itself. I mean, Medicare is a federal health insurance program for people over 65, right? So you get Medicare, right? Medicaid is a joint federally funded program that's managed by the states. So, any practice, it's such a common thing that it looks like healthcare expenditures now exceed $1 trillion each year, so that more than $1 billion may be lost in fraud. So if you think about this poor dentist that ran this dental office, and I'm going to try, if I assassinate the name, that's no problem, because the fraud okay, that this person that runs this dental office at 101 Pleasant Street, there's no shame in screwing anything up, because they were intentionally overbilling, overbilling the Medicaid and Medicare system, particularly the Medicaid system. So let's get that straight. Medicaid is state, Medicare is federal, okay? But the Medicaid is federally funded and subsidized, and the states roll out how they want to, utilize the state funding. So double billing, phantom billing, unbundling, uncoding, double billing, submitting multiple claims for the same service. Very common. All right. So let's look at our poor destitute dentist operation on Pleasant Street in Worcester, where the owner of that establishment lives in Hopkinton, okay? Hopkinton, okay? With a medium household income for residents in Hopkinton, a town that's under 3,000 people, right? Okay? Which is about $291,000, okay, for a 2-3 family occupancy, $291,000, all right? A town that has a population below 3,000, which has been declining, by the way, because they're being priced out because of stupid affordable housing, right? So, this person is going to be tried in federal court, obviously, for falsely billing Medicaid, that a person that lives in a very friggin' rich community and billing people in Worcester who live on Pleasant Street in that area, okay? Let's face it, easy to overbill, and that was one of the poorest sections of Worcester, versus a person who lives in one of the richest, whitest community in friggin' Massachusetts, okay? So I hope they go down. So I'm sorry if I haven't articulated the name appropriately, but it looks like the Attorney General's office alleges that the proprietor of 101 Pleasant Street fraudulently obtained $2.6 million from Math Health in this scheme, overbilling for prescription mouthwash. They were charging you for that. Can you friggin' imagine that? Yes, you can. And that costs the average taxpayer, regardless, $500 a year. All right, for fraudulent crap. All right, that gets passed on to you and me, and that's why you and I pay so much in healthcare, because of fraud, right? It's like when you go into any store, right, and theft. You go to CVS, you go down some certain aisle, and all of a sudden it's lights say, "Hey, welcome to the cosmetic aisle." Well, that's because those are high theft items, and those costs will always be passed on to you, won't they? You feel it, right? You know what I'm saying. So really quick, and so affordable housing, and we're getting into economics here, versus subsidized housing. Now, affordable housing is if you're spending more than 30% of your income, including utilities, on rent, okay, you are in poverty. This is something I heard today from in Hardwick, Massachusetts, down there on 122, down on 32. Hardwick, Massachusetts is teaming up with Worcester Community Housing Resources, and they're going to rehabilitate some buildings that have affordable housing. that means that you're below the 30%, okay? Out in Hardwick, I mean, rural USA, that just goes to say that living in this country, and we just celebrated the 4th of July and our independence, which is great, but what are we really independent from? I mean, the costs of groceries, housing, transportation is off the rails, okay? And we have a federal election coming up in November, guys, and don't tell me you're not thinking about that, because you are, okay? We have dishonest people taking advantage of poor people, like the stupid dental owner on 101 Pleasant Street, which I'm gonna definitely slam on my City and Suburb Facebook page. And I know it's old news, but it's not old news because it friggin' happens every day and it screws you over, okay? So let's make sure, guys, really, I mean, I think, right? I think that you work hard. And right now, if you're looking for a job, by the way, the job market is kind of tightening up, so don't get too relaxed, right? But yes, COVID, coming out of that, screw it. We're done with COVID. I'm done with COVID. I'm done with the masks. I'm done with all that. I'm done with the fraud. I'm done with people taking advantage of poorer people that have no money. And I'm also done with the friggin' federal government who has these programs that are so big, like Medicaid, Medicare. I mean, they're so big. And then you go to apply for a benefit you really need and you have to wait. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. You know, affordable housing, under 30% of your income. I mean, yeah, it costs a lot to live right now, ladies and gentlemen. And let me know how you guys are thinking. And anyway, have a safe summer. And we'll talk to you soon. Kenny B here signing out. Suburbs. Keep the faith, my friends. Take care.